What's going on, Wrestling Universe? Welcome back to Wrestlingverse CC, the channel where we bring you the latest and most shocking developments from the world of WWE. And today, we have some absolutely heartbreaking news that has sent shockwaves through the entire WWE Universe and left even the toughest superstars in tears. Triple H, WWE's chief creative officer, has just delivered some devastating news about Seth Rollins' health condition that nobody saw coming. And trust me, what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. But before we dive into this emotional roller coaster, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell, because this is the kind of breaking news that changes everything in WWE. Let's rewind to Saturday night at WWE Saturday Night's main event in Atlanta. The atmosphere was electric, the crowd was on their feet, and Seth Rollins was delivering another masterclass performance against LA Knight in what was supposed to be a routine main event match. But then it happened. In a split second, everything changed. As Rollins attempted a high-impact move off the ropes, something went terribly wrong. The footage is absolutely heartbreaking to watch. You can see the exact moment when Seth's knee buckled beneath him. The sound of the impact, the way he immediately clutched his leg, and the look of agony on his face told the entire story. This wasn't just any ordinary bump or sell. This was real. This was serious. And everyone in that arena knew it. The match ended abruptly with Seth taking the pin, but what happened next will haunt WWE fans forever. As cameras went to commercial, fans caught footage of Rollins being assisted to the back, and you could hear him letting out multiple expletives as the pain overwhelmed him. Here's what makes this situation even more tragic, Wrestling Universe. Seth Rollins has been through this nightmare before. This isn't his first rodeo with knee injuries, and that's exactly what makes Triple H's update so absolutely heartbreaking. Let's take a painful walk down memory lane. In 2015, Rollins suffered a devastating ACL and MCL tear in his right knee that sidelined him for months. Just when we thought he was past the worst of it, 2017 brought another crushing blow when he retore that same MCL. Fast forward to 2024, and Seth was dealing with a torn meniscus in his left knee. The man has literally put his body on the line for our entertainment, and now, at 39 years old, he's facing what could be the most serious injury of his career. Now here's where things get absolutely devastating. During Sunday's post-Evolution media scrum, Triple H faced the press with the kind of somber expression we rarely see from the game. When asked about Seth's condition, his words sent chills down everyone's spine. The WWE COO didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't try to spin it positively. Instead, he delivered the news that nobody wanted to hear with brutal honesty that left reporters and fans alike in stunned silence. Triple H revealed that early tests were inconclusive, but then he dropped the bombshell that has the entire WWE Universe in tears. He admitted that the injury doesn't look good, and that they were hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. The way he delivered this news, the tone in his voice, the concern in his eyes, it was clear that this wasn't just a corporate executive giving an update. This was a man genuinely worried about someone he cares about, someone who has given everything to this business. The impact of this news has been felt throughout the entire WWE roster. Superstars who have worked with Seth, who have shared the ring with him, who have witnessed his dedication and passion firsthand, have been left emotional and shaken. You have to understand, Seth Rollins isn't just another wrestler. He's the heart and soul of WWE programming. He's the guy who shows up every single night, who puts on incredible matches, who carries storylines on his shoulders, and who has become the face of Monday Night Raw. Backstage sources are reporting that when the news broke, you could hear a pin drop in the locker room. Veteran wrestlers who have seen it all were visibly emotional. Some of the toughest men and women in sports entertainment were fighting back tears. The timing of this injury couldn't be worse for WWE. With SummerSlam 2025 on the horizon, plans are now completely up in the air. Seth Rollins was reportedly set for a massive showdown with Roman Reigns at the event, a match that fans have been clamoring for. But now, with Triple H's devastating update, that dream match might be nothing more than a fantasy. The creative team is scrambling to figure out how to move forward without one of their top stars. And here's the kicker: Seth Rollins is the current Mr. Money in the Bank. This raises serious questions about whether he'll have to vacate the briefcase, something that would add insult to injury for both Seth and the fans who have been invested in his storyline. What makes this situation even more heartbreaking is the personal toll it's taking on Seth and his family. His wife, Becky Lynch, has been by his side through all of this, and you can see the worry and concern in her eyes. The couple has already been dealing with stress after their beach house was burglarized just last week while they were at Monday Night Raw. Now, on top of that trauma, they're facing the very real possibility that Seth's career could be in jeopardy. Despite his injury, Seth showed up to Sunday's Evolution event to support Becky as she successfully defended her Intercontinental Championship. The image of him sitting ringside, clearly in pain, but still supporting his wife, is both inspiring and heartbreaking. Here's what we know about the medical situation. Triple H revealed that Seth would be meeting with Dr. Douglas in Birmingham for an MRI to get a clearer picture of the extent of the damage. The fact that early tests were inconclusive is both hopeful and terrifying. On one hand, inconclusive results mean there's still a chance this isn't as bad as it looked. On the other hand, when Triple H says something doesn't look good, you know the situation is serious. The medical team is being extremely cautious, and rightfully so. With Seth's history of knee injuries, they can't afford to rush him back or misdiagnose the severity of the damage. Wrestling Universe, I have to be honest with you. As someone who covers WWE regularly, I've seen injuries before. I've reported on setbacks and comebacks. But something about this situation feels different. Maybe it's the way Triple H delivered the news. Maybe it's Seth's injury history. Maybe it's the timing with all the big plans WWE had for him. Or maybe it's just the realization that our heroes are human, and sometimes even the strongest among us can be broken. The fan reaction has been overwhelming. Social media has been flooded with messages of support, prayers, and well wishes for Seth's recovery. The hashtag #GetWellSeth has been trending worldwide, showing just how much this man means to the WWE Universe. The next few days are going to be crucial for Seth Rollins and WWE. The MRI results will determine not just his immediate future, but potentially the trajectory of his entire career. If the news is positive, we might see Seth back in action sooner than expected. But if Triple H's fears are confirmed, we could be looking at a lengthy rehabilitation process that could keep Seth out of action for months, or even force him to consider retirement. The creative team is undoubtedly working on contingency plans, but you can't just replace someone like Seth Rollins. His in-ring ability, his mic skills, his connection with the audience, these are rare qualities that don't come along often. This injury raises some serious questions about Seth's legacy and future in WWE. At 39 years old, with multiple knee injuries already behind him, how many more comebacks can his body handle? Seth has already accomplished everything there is to accomplish in WWE. He's been WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, and Money in the Bank winner. He's headlined WrestleMania and been the face of the company during some of its most important moments. But here's the thing about Seth Rollins, he's not done. He still has that fire, that passion, that desire to entertain us all. The question is whether his body can keep up with his spirit. The response from the wrestling community has been absolutely incredible. Wrestlers from WWE, AEW, and independent promotions have all sent messages of support. It's moments like these that remind us that despite the scripted rivalries and storylines, there's a real brotherhood and sisterhood among professional wrestlers. Former WWE champions, Hall of Famers, and current superstars have all expressed their concern and support for Seth. This shows you just how respected he is not just as a performer, but as a person. Despite the devastating nature of Triple H's update, we have to hold on to hope. Wrestling history is full of miraculous comebacks from career-threatening injuries. Seth himself has overcome serious knee injuries before, and come back stronger than ever. The medical technology and rehabilitation techniques available today are far superior to what they were even a few years ago. If anyone can overcome this setback, it's Seth freaking Rollins. His determination, his work ethic, and his love for this business have carried him through dark times before. We have to believe they'll carry him through this as well. Right now, all we can do is wait. Wait for the MRI results. Wait for more updates from Triple H and the WWE medical team. Wait to see if our worst fears are confirmed or if there's reason for optimism. But while we wait, we can show our support. We can send positive energy Seth's way. We can remind him and his family that the entire WWE Universe is behind him. This situation also highlights the very real dangers that professional wrestlers face every single time they step through those ropes. These men and women put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and sometimes the price they pay is higher than any of us want to imagine. It's a sobering reminder that what we're watching isn't just entertainment. It's real human beings pushing their bodies to the absolute limit, sometimes beyond what those bodies can handle. Wrestling Universe, as we wrap up this emotional report, I want you to remember that Seth Rollins is more than just a wrestler. He's a husband, a father figure to many young wrestlers, and a man who has dedicated his life to entertaining us all. Whatever the MRI results show, whatever the future holds, Seth Rollins has already given us more than we could have ever asked for. He's provided us with countless memorable moments, incredible matches, and emotional storylines that we'll never forget. Triple H's shocking update has left the entire WWE Universe in tears, but it's also brought us together in support of one of our heroes. And that's something beautiful in the midst of all this heartbreak. Make sure you stay tuned to Wrestlingverse CC for all the latest updates on Seth Rollins' condition. We'll be following this story closely and bringing you every development as it happens. Don't forget to like this video if it helped keep you informed, subscribe to the channel for more breaking WWE news, and let us know in the comments below what you think about this devastating situation. And most importantly, let's all send our positive thoughts and prayers to Seth Rollins and his family during this incredibly difficult time. Until next time, this is Wrestlingverse CC, and remember, we're all in this together, Wrestling Universe.